I feel like you were singing a song, okay? You're singing a song, or you were writing a message. You're expressing yourself in some kind of way. And you were wanting to express yourself, your talents, your skills, you wanted to show your communication skills. You wanted to express yourself in some kind of way. And this person, someone, cut that off. They got in the way of it, okay? They strong-armed you. They wanted to show you how strong and how badass they were, and how they were going to go ahead and cut that off and switch that off. Like whatever it was you thought, whatever you thought you were doing, whatever you thought you were expressing, they were like, I'm going to show you I'm bigger, I'm badder, I'm better, or I'm going to cut that off. I'm going to show you I'm strong enough to stop you from expressing yourself. I'm strong enough to stop you from expressing your talent. Okay? And I'm sorry you had to deal with that. Yeah, this person wanted, they put a stop to your happiness. They didn't want you to be happy. Or maybe they didn't realize how much that thing that they ended, how much it made you happy. There was something you wanted to do, and someone was like, no, I'm not gonna let you do it. And I almost feel like they did it with a smile, unfortunately. Like they were like cheerful about it, and you're like, you just took my joy away. You took something I was going to enjoy away from me, or you ended something that was bringing me happiness. Okay, I'm getting Mars energy, so I feel like this person was almost like warlike, and warlike based on things they had read, things that they had been taught, things they believed. So they were using their sense of judgment based on what they had learned against you. They were fighting a war against you based on what they knew and believed, the knowledge that they had. Okay, I do see that coming through. I feel like there was some sort of battle. You know, there could have been some kind of battle or some sort of like clash. Okay, and it kind of went on and on and on. The clash was they didn't want you to keep continuing doing something the way that you already were. They didn't want you to keep it flowing. They wanted to stop that flow. Okay, yeah, I feel like this person just they found you entertaining. They found what happened to you to be entertaining. This is really crazy. Okay, this is someone who hurt you, someone who did something wrong to you. Okay, they wanted you to put on a mask. Yeah, they wanted you to pretend. They wanted you to pretend to be something you were not, and they wanted you to do it for their entertainment, to make them feel good. Okay, a mermaid in a crown. Yeah, they felt like you were acting like you were special, like you were acting like you were an exception to the rule, like you're rare, like you were a fairy tale, and they wanted to topple that. They didn't want you to have that, unfortunately. Okay, so they were trying to sort of like displace your crown, your sense of identity, your sense of, you know, your own inner royalty. They wanted to topple your crown. Okay, I feel like some of you, they may have sent you packing. They may have told you to leave, or maybe you left because this person, you tried to show them something, but they didn't want to see it. Okay, you tried to show them the right way, or you tried to, reveal to them that what they were wrong about, what they need to learn more about, and they didn't listen. So you moved on from that situation. So that's the energy I'm seeing coming in for this person, just so you can feel resonant with the reading. Okay, we're going to be reading on what their karma is going to be. So I feel like this person is going to watch you glow up. Okay, this is their karma. They're going to feel stuck in their thinking, stuck in their style, their sense of style. You try to show this person like how to be more fresh, how to be caught up and more up to date and stuff. And the problem, what they're going to encounter is that they're going to remain stuck in their thinking, stuck in their outlook, stuck in their fashion sense, stuck in the way they view things. And you're going to be glowing up, and they're going to be wondering about that glow you got, and it's going to make them feel bad. It's going to make them feel bad. Okay. This experience, you're going to move on from it. I see with the boat there, okay? Or the Zybeck or a yacht. You're going to take off. You're going to leave this person behind, move on to other things, and you're going to be improving yourself, okay? You're going to be glowing up. You're going to have a personal transformation, okay? And you're going to be better than ever. And this person is just going to be looking at you like, damn, how come you're looking hotter and better and just keep getting better and better and better and better? And it's going to make them feel bad. They're going to feel, I don't want anyone to feel bad, but if you're going to be a stick in the mud and you're going to try to limit other people's fun and limit, how people wanting to express themselves, well, what they're going to be experiencing is watch you move away from them and go do that somewhere else. And they're going to be able to see this. That's interesting. Okay, so it could have to do with your career. Okay, I feel that you're going to be doing very well. I'm seeing boss energy, CEO energy. Yeah, I'm seeing boss energy. I'm seeing CEO energy. You're going to be doing well in your business. So for some of you, this has to do with a glow up in your business. You're going to become very wealthy, very successful in the world of business, whatever business that you're doing. And they're going to be watching this meteoric rise. They're going to see you making more money, or this is how they're going to conceive of you or perceive you, is that you're doing very well. And you're going to be like, whoa, this is going to hit them in some kind of way. I feel like they're going to find out about this, or they knew that you're doing very well in business, that you took your ideas, you took your passion somewhere else. You're going to be rising to the top. Okay. Yes. So they're going to notice that you're getting paid. They're going to notice they're going to be aware of it, or come into that information in some kind of way, that you're getting financial rewards, that the money's going to be rolling in for you. They're going to be aware of that. And ouch, that you're cashing checks. They're going to be aware that you're getting paid, making profit. Things are going to be viable. So this could be based on a business for a lot of you. Okay. You're going to go off and, move on. It could be in the fashion industry. It could be your looks. You could be a model. Maybe they didn't agree with your modeling, or they didn't agree with the way you do business, or maybe you're an entertainer. I don't know what it is, but their critique of you wanting to stop you doing it the way you wanted to do it, or stop you doing it at all with them. Maybe you moved on from one company, moved on to another company. They didn't want to see you express yourself freely, but that very same thing they tried to stop, that very expression they tried to stymie, or the way of expressing yourself that they try to block, you're going to use that same sense of expression and go somewhere else. You're going to do extremely well, and they're going to be aware of this. They're going to be seeing this. I don't know how. They're going to be getting this information. Perhaps you will be telling them, or someone else will be telling them. And I feel like for them, they're going to be trying really hard to build clout, this person, okay, or situation. They're going to be wanting cred from other people. They're going to be like, I'm popular. Hey, they'll be doing anything for attention. They'll be doing things for attention. It's not going to be working. I feel like they're just going to get one like, or one, or, they're not going to have plentiful supporters of their work, okay, of their business like they would like. They're going to be desperate for followers, desperate for patrons, desperate for, I just feel like they're going to be trying to compete with you too. That's possible. Perhaps maybe they'll see what you're doing, and then they'll copy it, and it's not going to go well for them. They just don't have your looks. They don't have your pizzazz. They don't have your style. They don't have that it factor. And they're going to be trying really hard to get it. I see someone, I see this person, kind of going, going, and trying to do all the poses on camera and trying to capture and they're just going to look desperate. They're not going to look right. So I feel like they themselves are seeking attention. This person, they cut you off. They're wanting to be approved of themselves, and it's not going to be going well for them. Okay. Yeah. It's not going to be going well, fam. Yeah, I see that. I definitely see that. And they're going to hide it behind a smile. They're going to have a profile picture. You're going to see that's going to be perpetually smiling, or they're going to have a smiley attitude or an upbeat attitude whenever you see them. But it's going to be fake, guys. It's going to be fake. They're going to be hiding and concealing their true self, which is that they're miserable. Okay. Which is that, they're going to be hiding those negative emotions where they feel bereft. They feel let down. They feel like they're not getting the applause, the recognition that they're looking for. Okay. I'm seeing that. Yeah, I feel like this person, and they may be a performer. Okay, they may be a performer, or maybe they take. I feel like they do. They're public speaker, or they're seen for what they do. Okay, they're seen. I'm seeing the theater arts mask coming up. Okay, for some of you that's relevant. Okay, this could be a social media thing. This could be a performance. There could be a competitor of yours, actually, perhaps at a company that you used to work for, or an organization you used to be part of. And I feel like they're wanting clout themselves, but they denied you that clout. But they're going to be desperately wanting it for themselves, and they're not going to get a lot of it. I feel like they may be in a position where they were able to cut you off or get in your way, but it doesn't mean that they're doing well. Okay, it's not going to mean that they're doing well. I also see that they're going to feel like they don't get to be themselves. They themselves are faking. They try to get you. Remember what we said earlier, that they try to get you to put on a mask and be something that you're not. They're doing the same thing. They've learned to put on a mask, thinking that's what's going to get them the clout, thinking that's going to get them recognition, but it's not going to work out. They're going to find out that this same attitude they try to impose on you, which is don't be yourself, just do, there's a way, it's go by the book of the things that they said or the things that they've written. That's how you're supposed to do it. They're going to find that they were trying to impose that on you. You knew it was wrong, and that's why you left and you moved on. You tried to show them a better way. They didn't get it. You left and you moved on, but they're going to realize that they're wrong. They're going to realize that it's not working for them. Okay, that they were wrong. So that's going to prove itself over time. Okay, they're going to be in fear. They're going to live in fear. This person that mistreated you, or the situation that mistreated you, they're going to be living in fear. They're going to be living in fear of the boogeyman, of their own projections. So this person has issues, and they were trying to project that onto you. They're trying to get you to live in the same world that they're living in. They're going to continue to live in that world. Okay. Part of the karma that they're going to be facing is that they're going to have to move on from a certain situation. Perhaps this is a situation that you left them behind in, that you are wanting to be a part of. You're wanting to express yourself within that environment. Well, they're going to be leaving that environment themselves, and it's going to be due to some sort of illness. I do see that, and I don't wish anyone ill, but that's what the cards are saying. Okay, is that this person is going to have some sort of sudden illness, and it's going to make them leave. They're going to not feel good. This could be an emotional issue where I feel like they may get depressed, or they may get they may develop some sort of mental health issue, and it could be physical health also. But I feel like it's all this worrying, all this fear of how they think they should be versus just being themselves. They don't know how to be themselves. This person, this is the issue they're having, and it's going to create a feedback loop system that's going to cause a physical illness within their bodies. Okay, their karma is going to be that they're not going to find the key. They're not going to find the key. They're not going to be able to find it. It's going to be staring them in the face, though. It's going to be staring them in the face. Okay, but they're not going to understand that the key is to let go of all these weird ideas and projections. Okay, but you're going to figure it out. You're going to figure it out. Part of their karma is that you're going to have the key. Okay, and you're going to figure out that part of the key is letting them go and letting this situation go. I also see that they're going to have to be forced to let go of a certain situation, and put up the key. They're going to be like, all right, I give up, and they're going to put up the key to this place and walk away. They're going to let go of some situation they were part of, some sort of organization that they were a part of. They were given the key to enter and access, and they're going to realize, I don't want to be part of this. I don't feel well. I'm sick. They're not going to understand that it's a toxicity that they themselves were cultivating. They were submitting to the toxicity within that system, and they were cultivating it within themselves, which led them to become sick, and is going to lead to them putting up the key, letting it go, and moving on. This is part of their karma for mistreating you. Okay. Again, here we're getting an ailing person. We're getting sudden illness. So we're getting confirmation here. They're going to fall under some sort of illness. Unfortunately, I am seeing this. Okay. Yes, and it's going to be all because of the negative attitudes and limiting, self-repression and sort of toxic ideas that they were holding on to. Unfortunately, I do see this. Okay. Now, while they are ailing, you will be finding the treasure. You will be finding a treasure, and they will not be able to find this treasure. You'll be able to move on and find this treasure, and they will fall sick and not be able to pursue that treasure themselves. So I'm also seeing that perhaps there was a treasure that they were privy to. It could be a certain position or access, and because they're no longer going to be part of the situation, a specific message to some of you, they're not going to be part of this situation anymore because of their illness. They have to withdraw. They have to retreat. You're going to find that treasure. You're going to lay claim to that treasure. Okay. I see this person is just going to go on. They'll never be able to break themselves free of this mindset where they're not thinking for themselves, where they're following certain belief systems that they were sold, that they were told to believe that are not serving them. Okay. I feel like they're going to continue to sort of prostitute themselves to this system, belief, or set of ideas, and it's going to be to their detriment, but they're going to continue to be that way. Okay, they're going to continue to be that way. I feel like for some of them, this is a very specific message. I feel like this person is going to lose work and is going to have to turn to prostitution or turn to in order to make quick cash, because this illness is going to make them lose work or lose opportunities. And so they're going to have to either prostitute themselves or become, date guys they don't want to date, or date who they want to date for money. Okay. Like find sugar daddy and stuff like that. Okay. That's what I'm seeing as well. I also see them just prostituting their values and continue to go along with situations and people that it's not good for them, because they don't know any other way to be. Okay. They just prostitute their values. They prostitute everything, their soul for money, I guess. Yeah. I'm also seeing here Their karma is going to be to watch you gain access to something. You're going to gain access to something. Yeah. You're going to receive a letter of approval. You're going to receive a letter of approval, and you're going to become known. You're going to become known. And I feel like it's all going to be tied back into the situation that they let go of. Either that same specific situation that they let go of because they couldn't take it anymore, or it could be a different kind of situation, a different situation that's similar to this one. Okay? That's where you're going to be thriving. This is part of their karma. I think it's part of their karma because you're coming back to that situation. That's possible for a lot of you. You're coming back to the situation where you have to move on from because this person roadblocked you. They roadblocked your success because of their limiting ideas. I feel like this person is going to have to stay at home a lot. They're going to be confined to their home environment, and they're not going to get out much. I see them waiting for the mailman, waiting for letters, waiting for approvals, and I feel that they are going to get a letter that tells them that you won in some kind of way, that you're doing well in some kind of way, that you... First of all, they're going to get a letter that's going to be put out about them, or an email announcing to people that they let go of that situation. So that's going to be publicized. People are going to know about it, and that's going to maybe make them feel embarrassed. They're going to feel like, oh, people know I'm not there anymore. Dang. And this is part of their karma. They're going to stay at home a lot. They're going to receive messages. They're going to receive news at home. And the news is not going to be one that they feel good about. Yeah, there's going to be a message put out about the fact that that position they let go of, or that situation they let go of, is now available for anyone else to come take up. And they're going to be aware of this. I feel like also the fact that they're selling their values in some kind of way is going to become a matter of public information. Okay, people are going to know about it. People are going to know that they sold their values for money. I'm getting like political vibes here a little bit too, because I've seen the news. Yeah, and I feel like if this is someone in the news, okay, this could be political. They're gonna fall sick. They're gonna fall sick. And their sickness is gonna lead people to find treasure, and bring that treasure back into their lives. People are gonna be able to find a home to live in. You're gonna be able to find a home to live in as a result of this person no longer being in power. Yeah, I see someone putting up the key. So this could be Taco, the orange felon. I'm also seeing someone like him letting go because of illness. He's going to let go of the position. This person's going to let go of their position because of illness. And it's going to lead to people being able to buy houses, being able to have livable condition, being able to have a home. And it's going to be all over the news that this person is not doing well. It's going to be all over the news that this person got with prostitutes, or that this person got with a sex worker, or that this person sold their values for money. It's going to be all over the news. It's going to be publicized. There's going to be no getting away from it, okay? Yeah, this person's going to be letting go of a position of power. I do see that here because of illness. And that's what I'm seeing in the cards, guys, as far as what is the karma for the person who's been mistreating you. I hope you found this reading to be enlightening and valuable. And if you did, please put a like on it. If you'd like to, I'd love to make conversation with you. Which part of this reading resonated with you? Let me know, and I would love to chat with you in the comment section about this, okay? Take very good care of yourself, okay? And see you next time. Bye!